50s and the early 80s when she was training to be was it a physical training instructor in the Army. Yeah, when she was in the Army. And after leaving the Army, she trained as a chartered physiotherapist, came to work in London, and is now retired. Now, besides going to the Gates, she also worked in 2 other gay clubs, quite infamous ones, the Robin Hood and the Raven. And although her real name is Margaret Cranch, nobody, and particularly on the gay scene, calls her anything but Crunchy. So there you go. Louise Carolin, sitting next to Crunchy. Louise has been involved in making magazines for lesbians and bi women since 1987 and is currently deputy editor at Diva magazine. Although now largely retired as a bar dyke, she's spent many happy years drinking, dancing, cruising, and most importantly, criticizing the toilet facilities. I'll identify, right? Of lesbian clubs in London, Cambridge, Manchester, New York, and San Francisco. Now, sadly, Louise came out 1 year too late to experience the gateways herself, but she recently presented a fascinating talk on the history of lesbian clubs in London at the Bishopsgate Institute. Jane Trays is next to me on my other side, and round of applause for Jane. Now, if you think you've seen Jane somewhere before, it's probably because you have. She's popped up on the lesbian scene in a variety of disguises over the years, starting, of course, with the Gateways Club in the late 60s, and she's been involved with a variety of lesbian and LGBT projects like the publishing house Only Women Press, the York Lesbian Arts Festival, where I first met Jane, and the Rainbow Film Festival in Shrewsbury, and Elfest. For some years, she was one half of the historical novelist J. Taverner. She's recently moved to Brighton. She's been a full-time student since 2009 at the University of Sussex, researching the lives and experiences of older lesbians. www.womenlikethat.co.uk. And
it's a good way to meet women.
It's a good way to meet. I'm sure it is, Jane. I'll take your word for it. Now, for this project, she has collected the opinions and experiences of over 400 British women who are over 60, who identify as lesbian or bisexual. She's interviewed about 40 of them. Many of them remember the gateways, and she hopes to eventually turn the research into a book. So I hope that happens. Thank you, Jane. And last but certainly not least, Jill Gardiner. Now, Jill is the author of this book, From the Closet to the Screen, Women at the Gateways Club, 1945 to 1985. She first became involved in lesbian and gay oral history through the Brighton Our Story project, and she's currently working on text for the program notes of a new play with a gateways theme. I think we have flyers around here for it somewhere. Yeah, there you go. It's called The Speed Twins, and it's being performed at the Riverside Studios in Hammersmith this September. And Jill has also arrived with a suitcase full of these books to sell tonight. And I will tell you, it's very difficult to get a hold of this book. People exchange quite hefty sums on Amazon and eBay for this book because it's gone out of print, and I know you're in discussion with your publisher to bring it back into print. But tonight is a very good chance to actually get the book if you don't have it. We'll be selling them after the talk. So, anyway, that's everyone introduced. Round of applause for our Salon.